Hello friends, how are you doing? This is a slightly different video than normal because I simply want to ask for your help. I started a GoFundMe for myself to be able to go to a concussion clinic that is not covered by Dutch health insurance. If you want to donate, I will link it below. If you don't have the funds, then don't worry about it at all. I know many of us have a tight financial situation right now, so I don't want to pressure at all, but I wanted to give the opportunity because I have been sharing on all my other social media platforms and on the posts, but I haven't made a video about it yet. So that is what this is. I'm going to try and make it without editing, so no chopping. If I say things wrong, I just say things wrong, and that's it. Because I'm actually going in a few hours even. Yeah, like in 2 hours, I'm going to the bus to go to my first appointment at this clinic. Last week, I decided to just do it. I started a GoFundMe and the donations came in really fast. I am super grateful for everyone who donated and who shared and who engages with my content in general. So I was able to book the first intake appointment where they do the testing to see if they can help me, which according to their website, it is exactly what they do, a long-lasting concussion. If you don't know, 5.5 years ago, I was at a garden center and I was so excited about the plants that I bought for a friend that on the way back to bring the cart back, I jumped up on the handle with my hips, which I often do at supermarkets. So I didn't think it through. I just pushed off and jumped on. But this was a garden center, this was not a supermarket cart. It was a garden center cart. And so it couldn't handle the weight. It has a different weight balance. It toppled over and the metal cart crashed onto my head as I crashed down onto the ground. So I got a big gash in my head. You can't really see it in this light, but I got 3 stitches. Very swollen face, black and blue eyes. It looked quite horrific. I used some of the photos from back then for the GoFundMe, which is kind of interesting to look back at. And that healed really well, but what didn't go away was the headaches. And it actually became quite a lot more intense after about 5 days. I got intense headaches, neck pain, because of course my neck had also made a weird move with that metal cart slamming into my head. And then exhaustion, and this third exhaustion, I became sensitive to light and loud noises and car rides and social interactions. So altogether, quite impractical set of things to not be able to handle. And over the 5.5 years, I have taken a lot of different therapies, from the neurologist to more alternative craniosacral therapy and the osteopath and everything in between. I think I've been to 5 different physiotherapists for different parts of my body to help me get through it. The Dutch way of looking at a concussion is to rest and wait, which I did. But 5.5 years is quite a long time to wait and to rest. So I found an American doctor who knows a lot about concussions. I was able to speak to him on a video chat and he listened to my story and he said, you need to do something different. And in America, they look at treatment very differently. They have a center in Utah that does very extensive work with concussions and a very different way of treating. And he did some research for me and he found a center here in the Netherlands, actually not too far from here in Haarlem, called the Amsterdam Brain Center, which is not in Amsterdam, kind of funny. And they offer exactly the treatment like in America, not exactly, because we don't do functional MRIs here. And so it's probably like a part of the American treatment. But to be able to go to America would be 30,000 euros. And I already feel awkward about asking for 5,000 euros. So I'm not going to focus on America. I'm going to focus on the one here in Haarlem first and see what they can do to help me. So, oh, and I wanted to say, some of you commented after I shared the GoFundMe to say, don't you make a lot of money because you have a lot of followers on Instagram and subscribers on here? And unfortunately, no. I don't mind being quite open about money. With the amount of followers that I have or subscribers I have on here, I get from YouTube about 200 to 300 euros per month. And I work basically full time for that with the editing. Instagram doesn't pay me anything except when I get a sponsor. So, and those numbers have gone down a lot as well. If you are in the plant community, you will have realized that quite a few businesses are stopping because they don't have the customers anymore, or prices are dropping a lot, so they don't have funds to pay an influencer to help promote them, or content creator. So basically those streams of income have gone down a lot. My regular teach, this is what happens too, and I want to leave it in because my brain doesn't have the ability to put words together in the proper sentence anymore. Not always. I try, but I often cut this out and I'm not going to cut it out. So my job used to be full-time yoga teacher. I was self-employed. I did not have any insurance for that. Health insurance here is mandatory, but not the insurance for if you get sick and you can't work anymore. So I'm not able to teach full-time yoga classes anymore. I'm not even able to teach a weekly class anymore because I might wake up with a headache and then have to find a replacement, which of course the students are coming, so there needs to be a teacher. And that idea of not knowing and not being able to trust myself gave me a lot of stress, which then gave me more headaches. Yay. So I stopped the weekly classes and I don't get any social security, I think it's called. If you had a normal job before you got sick, then here in the Netherlands, you get an amount of money from social services to be able to pay for your bills. I don't get any of that. So my income is the 200 to 300 euros from YouTube, sometimes some affiliate income, and sometimes I go film for the Yoga TV program, which is very nice, but that is 3 days per year. So it's not a lot of pay. And then sometimes I teach a yoga workshop here and there. So it has been quite hard for the last 5 years. I don't want to complain because I am very grateful that I'm able to work from home, which is what I can do still. And that my boyfriend is here with me. If I were to live alone, it would be a completely different story. So I don't want to complain, but there is no safety net. There is no way for me to save up money, if that makes sense, for a treatment like this. So I'm so grateful for everyone who has already donated. I am going to put this together real quick and post it so you can see it before I even go to the treatment center today. I usually update on my stories, and then if you are only on YouTube, you don't have Instagram or TikTok, I also try and post on the community tab or the posts tab, depending on your app. Sometimes I post a photo there with a little update. Also on the GoFundMe, I will post updates as well. So that's a really long way to say, if you have the financial means and you are willing to help me, that would be amazing. If you don't, please don't feel any responsibility. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. And I'm very excited for today. I'm nervous and excited to see what they're going to do. I have no idea what the treatment exactly is, but also I don't have too much hope yet because I've had hope so many times for a treatment and it didn't help. But I'm trying to just give it my all this time and see what happens. Stay tuned. Thank you, friends.